That's rude. Oftentimes, if you end the discussion abruptly, either by rolling away or falling off the stairway or something like that, they will react to that. Sometimes see these floating messages. Imminent blood mess. Blah, blah. I have no idea. Because this is a PC version of a game, a lot of people can find ways of cheating either through trainers or different exploits of the game. Which is one of the reasons why oops, missed my parry there. Which is one of the reasons the PvP in the PC version is a bit less, I guess, good in the PC version. Ah, there we go. We get some Hollow Warrior armor. So the Hollow Warrior armor is probably just plain worse than what we have. It's made thick leather that is tattered with age. So this is iron and it's quite sturdy. We could equip this. It doesn't slow us down as much as the soldier shield has. Let's wear it for a little while. It does give us some extra poise, which is good. Keep us from getting staggered. I do rather like the way that the holy robes look, but we'll just wear this for a little while. And the jingling is kind of annoying. We'll take a look at that battle axe in a second. So down here we can see where that shortcut goes. There's kind of a stairway down here. Leads to the area below us. We'll see where that goes later. In this room is a treasure chest. And inside of it we get some black fire bombs. Let's take a look at those. They're basically upgraded versions of the fire bombs we have. You can start with 10 of them, but you can get 5 here, and you can actually buy more later. So, they are not as precious as they indicate there, but it says low level, so I suppose that's technically true. So around the corner here, we got a bit of an ambush. And oddly enough, the one that is farthest away is the one that responds to us coming forward. And I believe the reason for that is this guy will actually throw firebombs at us. So we're going to kind of get the jump on him by making it so that he can't attack us with the fire bombs. Well, I guess he saw us. Okay. Let's go ahead and take out these guys. It's a good idea to, even if you are going to kill them in one hit anyway, to kill the guys by backstabbing or riposting, because it's good to have those invincibility frames while you're doing it. So, here the guys come across. They already know I'm here. Sometimes that guy will fall down when doing stuff like that. Just kind of bum rush them, and here you can see our shield blocked quite a lot of that damage. Here we can pick up Soul of the Lost Undead. That jingling is actually annoying me right now, so I'm going to go back to the Holy Robe. That guy fell down, but he didn't die. He's just down below us now. One of the things you can do here is you can roll over onto here. There's nothing over here, though. Just kind of a side area, I guess. Take that! Oh, he dropped an item. A firebomb. Well, there we go. Let's heal using our thing. Oh, and I got a random humanity. You get humanity at random from enemies if you haven't killed the boss in the area. I don't know how often you get them. It could be a fixed amount. There we use the residence key to open that door. I don't think you can actually open this door with the master key, so you need the residence key. I know for certain that there's another one later that you are required to have the residence key for, but I'm pretty sure that one is also like that. So we get the gold pine resin, which is kind of a clue to the weakness of the boss of the area. It gives you so that your weapon will do lightning damage. Unfortunately, our weapon already has an elemental effect, which is magic damage. which means that we cannot use things that add another elemental effect. Didn't let me kick him. So there's a tower up here, and we can hear a guy shooting at us with the crossbow. Just kill this guy. If we walk down over there where those other guys are, this guy will shoot us. So, let's try out that crossbow, since I mentioned that earlier. Oh, and the battle axe. Battle axe is a bit stronger than the mace, but its scaling is less good, but it also scales with dexterity, which the mace does not do. It has a bit of a wider attack range, so, you know, it's still nice, and it's an axe type. It uses basically the same animations for backstab and stuff like that. But even with our strength at 12, the scaling and the base damage still makes the battle axe deal more damage. Oh, I forgot. The crossbow. So the crossbows are down here. Oops. And here with the bolt slots and the arrow slots. So, I have it equipped in our right hand. Now we have that equipped. You can actually, like, if you have the crossbow equipped, you can, or even a bow, you can push the trigger to switch different types of ammo, but we only have one type of ammo now. So we can shoot a guy with it. It takes a little bit to reload, so you gotta be careful there. And I don't actually have my weapon equipped, so let's keep shooting him. You can see it deals a decent amount of damage. You can get by using those for a little while, as long as you are careful about it. I've always wanted to try using a crossbow in a run, but crossbows are kind of an iffy weapon. I don't even know if you can upgrade them. They have no stat scaling either. Okay, so that's where we're supposed to go. We can see up there is a door. Oh, I can't really see it. But there's a barrel sitting there. If we start going up, the guy will set it on fire and kick it down towards us. What a bastard. Now, if there are traps like that, they usually don't respawn when you rest at a bonfire or something like that. But, yeah. I think in one instance where the traps reset. What's this say? Try stabbing in the back. So down here is a friend. And you can see... Let's go over here and kind of show off what I mean. If you go back across over here... where do I have to be to see that? I think, like, on the bridge over here or something? Yeah, you can see the item down there. But you can't see the dude who's standing there. Well, maybe you can. And you can try to jump across there. I don't know if you can or not. I never tried it, because if you fall, you'll die. But it's sort of like bait for that friend over there. So let's go meet him. This is one of the iconic enemies of the game. You can see that's the same thing. Over here is a drop off into a pit. So you need to be careful while fighting this guy that you don't walk yourself off into that. So we can try to sneak up on him a little bit. If you just walk rather than running, you can kind of sometimes get the drop on enemies. I very rarely ever actually get this to work, but if you get close enough, you can actually backstab them. Ah, that didn't work. So this is a Black Knight. The key way to fight these guys is to learn their moves to backstab and riposte them. I'm not going to try riposting because I don't have much of a margin of error for doing that, so one of the things we want to do here is try to lead him into an area where we have a wider range in which to fight him. So this area over here. What I was trying to do is down stab him, but I mistimed my jump. I attacked before I jumped, and what you want to do is you want to jump and then attack. So this guy deals a significant amount of damage and has a lot of hit points. But if you get around him, you can backstab them. And you can post them too. If you're good enough at it, you can get around them and just kind of chain backstab them. And this is basically the strategy to beat them. Now, as you can see, I'm lowering my shield when they attack, right after they hit me. And this is because your stamina does not regenerate while you are blocking. Enemies like this will very quickly teach you to kind of go with the rhythm of the attacks. Now that shield bash will deal quite a bit of stamina damage if we block it, and will stagger us if it hits us. So there we go, and we actually got his sword. These guys will randomly drop their weapons. They can drop the shield too, which is much, much better than the sword. The Black Knight shield is one of the best all-around shields in the game. There are situations in which it's not very good because it doesn't have very good magic block, but for fire and physical, it's one of the best. It has one of the highest abilities and all that stuff. So yeah, and we got a Titanite chunk. Oddly enough, you can get a Titanite chunk before you get a Titanite shard. Not always. This is your reinforced standard weapons to 14, but we actually need Titanite shards first. And we can open this door with the master key and go down into here to meet another. Well, this guy is optional at this point, but yeah, these messages will probably tell us the deal here. Try stabbing in the back. Tough enemy ahead. Yeah, that's exactly the case. Imminent despair. Oh, for us right now, that would probably be the case. So this is Havel the Rock. And that weapon he's using is actually a dragon tooth. And he's going to chase us all the way back up. But he will basically one-shot us if he hits us. He's kind of slow, which means it's easy to avoid him. But if you screw up and he hits you, you're dead. At least at this point. Later on, you can get more hit points and more armor to survive his attacks. I'm running away from him because I want to use my souls before I fight the boss anyway. He'll probably stop chasing us now. We're going to be fighting him later because, well, since we are a magical character, we can eventually get some spells with which to more easily defeat him. Now, with this sword, I could probably beat him now, but I would be very hard-pressed to do it on the first try. So, now one of the things we could do is kindle this bonfire, but I haven't used any of my Estus flasks yet, so I'm not going to bother. So let's use our souls here. I'm going to actually get a second attunement slot and raise my intelligence to 10, so now I can use sorceries, if I were wanting to. Now, one of the things to note about resting at bonfires is that oftentimes it's better to just be patient. Don't try to rush to the area you were at before. Just kind of methodically go through the guys. Just be as careful as possible. Now that we've actually been over to that area... Oop, I stepped on the fire. That knight will... Ooh. That undead soldier over there will come after us once he sees us trying to cross the bridge. Wait till they throw. Across. Oh, I timed it right. Another thing to note about humanity is that if we look at our stat line here, we have... Actually, not this one. Yeah, item discovery over there on the far right below our status defenses. We have 150% status, or item discovery. And that's because we have a humanity in our humanity counter. It falls off after that, but you get 50% bonus for having 1 humanity. I think it goes to 157 or something like that when you have 2. To a maximum of 10 humanity. And I think if you even can get more than 10 humanity, it doesn't give you any more bonuses past that for item discovery and some of the other effects that humanity can have an effect on later. Okay. Now, one of the odd things about stairs is that oftentimes you will have the advantage if you're lower on the stairs. There's a specific enemy I'm thinking of. So the cracked round shield here is a little bit of better magic block than the one we have currently, but we've got a couple of other shields that do magic block a bit better. It does have better lightning, the same lightning resist, but it's cut, I think, the lowest fire block of any shield. It's just kind of crappy. Also notable is that it's a small shield. The Caduceus round shield is too. I didn't realize that. These are particularly used for parrying. They have a slight advantage when parrying. I think this is the worst shield in the game for a non-magic block, because it's 30 stability. It's really bad. We also picked up a Hollow Warrior helm, which is better because it is a helmet. It's made of iron. It's better than worn out. Sturdy form of head protection. We'll go ahead and equip it. Now we look like we have a helmet on, because we do. And we can bypass some of these enemies, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. At least we can bypass one enemy. That guy with the crossbow. Is this guy already aware of our presence? Nope. As you see, we picked up another random humanity. So now we're at 2. The sword guys are a lot more aggressive than the other guys. Oh, something also of note. We never picked up the item from this guy. This dead body over here. It's a blue tier stone ring. And since we don't have any other rings equipped, we can equip it. It boosts your defense when your health is low. There's another one of these that boosts your attack when your health is low, which can be used to deal quite a bit of damage later. Okay. So now that we have 2 humanity, I can show you the 158 item discovery now that we have 2 humanity. And the guy over here saw us jump off that ledge, so now it's time to fight the boss. The boss is up here. So we rested at the bonfire. That guy is no longer around. I don't think. Over here, some barrels and stuff. Everything on it's just kind of, decoration. But right here are some more barrels here too. And underneath there is what's called a crystal gecko. And we can get some stuff from them. Large Titanite shards and Twinkling Titanite. Twinkling Titanite is actually used for upgrading unique weapons, such as the Astora's Greatsword we have. Unique weapons and armor can only go up to +5. So, yeah. But you get those from the... you'll always get Twinkling Titanite from the crystal geckos. You can also get large Titanite shards or colored Titanite or Titanite chunks or whatever. These are +5 to +10. These are the +10 to 14. And crystal and lightning weapons to +4. We will get to the elemental stuff later. So here is the boss door, and then we can see that there's another broken staircase up to something that's blocked with wood. So let's go on through here. Praise the sun, huh? Try a plunging attack. Well, that is actually the key to this boss. And, but above us, you can see that there's a ladder back here. And above us in this tower We can see there is some nasty surprises above us. These are guys with crossbows, and they will shoot at us during the boss fight if we don't deal with them now. Let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so let's get out of here. And then you remember what the merchant said. Death ahead. No, not quite. But a giant bull demon. This is the Taurus demon. The boss of the upper undead Burg. As alluded to by the undead merchant. Now he's got a big hammer. But he stops below here. And then you can plunging attack him. Oh, I might fall off the edge here because of the way I'm jumping here. Nope. Okay. And the strategy here, at least the strategy I use, is to run away from him. And then kind of run at him. And then usually he will do this. Jump over your head. And then climb back up. You want to get a certain distance away from him, so when he attacks, he will miss you on the tower. He's also weak to lightning. So if you have a normal weapon, you can just hit him with that, with the stuff you got from the treasure chest earlier. The gold resin. So for that we get a humanity and a homeward bone. And a bunch of souls. 3,000 souls. Hell yes. You can also knock him off the cliff. He has an item he can drop, the hammer he's using. And I think if you knock him off the cliff, you can't get that. He can also knock you off the cliff. So be careful about that. I didn't really show you the different types of attacks he has, because he's rather simple, and we can see those later. Later on, those would be normal enemies. Imminent rear. What? That doesn't even make sense. Hey, they did it. Cool. As you can see at the end of that bridge, there was another fog door, and that the fog door we came in through did not go away. That's basically how boss arenas will work. So that guy up there was a good reason to clear all the boxes and stuff in an area. Can we open this door with this? No. It's locked. We can't use our key for that. So down here is another NPC. Be wary of liar. That is absolutely not true. This guy knows what's up. This guy is a friendo.
Ah, hello. You don't look hollow. Far from it. I am Soler of Astora, an adherent of the Lord of Sunlight. Now that I am undead, I have come to this great land, the birthplace of Lord Gwyn, to seek my very own son. You find that strange? Well, you should. No need to hide your reaction. I get that look all the time.
So this is Soler. Soler is basically going to teach us how to do the cooperative online stuff.
Oh, aha. So I didn't scare you. I have a proposition, if you have a moment.
Just say yes here.
The way I see it, our fates appear to be intertwined. In a land brimming with hollows, could that really be mere chance? So what do you say? Why not help one another on this lonely journey?
Sure.
This pleases me greatly. Well then, take this.
So we have the white sign soapstone, which is used for summoning.
We are amidst strange beings in a strange land. The flow of time itself is convoluted, with heroes centuries old phasing in and out. The very fabric wavers, and relations shift and obscure. There's no telling how much longer your world and mine will remain in contact. But use this to summon one another as spirits, cross the gaps between the worlds, and engage in jolly cooperation. Of course, we are not the only ones engaged in this, but I am a warrior of the sun. Spot my summon signature easily by its brilliant aura. If you miss it, you must be blind.
Let's talk to him again.
Oh, hello there. I will stay behind to gaze at the sun. The sun is a wondrous body, like a magnificent father. If only I could be so grossly incandescent.
Soler's kind of a weird guy. But the thing we picked up is the white sign, substone. We leave a summon sign, and another person can see that and summon us. And if you help them beat a boss, you get some humanity through that. But hollows can't do it, so you need to be human to summon people, which we'll probably be seeing here in a little while. He also referred to the brilliant yellow aura of his summon sign. He's of a different covenant called the Warriors of Sunlight, and they have an orange summon sign, and if you fight a boss with them, well, at least Solaire specifically, you will get a Sunlight medal, which you can use for the Sunlight Warrior Covenant, which is something we will be able to get later, and something I will get later with this character. But there's a couple other things we want to do first. Well, first of all, we don't meet the requirements. So if you're on this bridge, you can see there's kind of some fire. Let's go ahead. Ah, the dragon. Well, let's run across while he's currently occupied. This is the guy who flew over our heads before. You gonna attack again? Some guy with a crossbow over there. So we can avoid the dragon by going down here. And we want to do that first because down at the bottom here, we can kick the ladder and go back down to the need kicking. That's right. We can go back down to the bonfire in the upper undead Burg. So let's figure out how we can get across that bridge, though. Oh, I should probably use my souls, too. Or I could save them for buying things. No, at this point we want to level up. Let's get our endurance up a little bit and spend the rest of the points in faith. It'll help both our sword and our miracles. And, well, we need some for something I want to do pretty soon. So let's go back up here. So if you go out here, we can go underneath the bridge. And if we had a bow, we could shoot the dragon and deal damage to him. Specifically, shooting his tail will allow you to cut it off. And then you can get an item, a very good item from that. But we don't have a bow right now. And it's harder to do with a crossbow, so I'm not going to bother trying. Here we have a spear guy in a very precarious position on the edge of a cliff. There we go. So we can bypass this area entirely by going through here, and I'll demonstrate that. Be wary of lying in ambush. Thank you. There are some rats over here. If we go across the doorway, they will be activated and come after us. And these rats will inflict the poison status. I'll let one of them hit me. So you can see that if that bar reaches its maximum, we'll be poisoned. And we slowly lose health over time while we are poisoned. There's 3 in here. And these are the things that drop humanity as well. We're just going to stay poisoned for now. Tears. Yeah, I guess so. So if we completely avoid that bridge and go up here, we can get into the area we're supposed to be going into, the Undead Parish. But if we see over here, there's a bonfire on the other side of this grate, this portcullis here. And we want to get to that. So let's go ahead and go back down and see if there's another way around, which there is. Otherwise I wouldn't be bothering to do this. Just heal through the poison. It's fine. I've got plenty of healing. Poison resistance will make the bar bigger, and bleed resistance will do the same thing. The difference between poison and bleed is that poison is a damage over time, and bleed is an immediate chunk of your health. So, poison is a bit more relevant than bleed, because if you're getting hit enough to bleed, you're usually going to die anyway. So we can step out onto that bridge. We will the dragon will breathe fire at us. What you want to do is you want to get over here into this safe area. Now, even the shield I have will not block his fire attacks very well, because they deal so much damage. Basically, we just want to wait over here until he comes down on the bridge to attack us. Now, you can actually use the dragon to farm souls pretty well, because you can just reset the, oh, God. Get away! Okay, I managed to get in the room. That's all that's important. If you go out the door here, T-bow, he will fly back up. And I think you can attack his tail here, but I'm never fast enough to try to do it. He'll fly away because he's a pansy. So we rest the bonfire after we activate it. As you can see, I healed through that poison most of the way, but it used all of my heal things, although I did get hit with a fire. But if you rest at a bonfire, it will cure that. Now the dragon will not respawn until we cross the bridge again. So what we want to do is I want to get up here and sneak attack this guy. Take care of these enemies here. Get a couple items. The claymore, which is another great sword. It's not as powerful as the Zweihander, but it has an attack pattern that's more closely resembles a straight sword, which is really good. It's also a bit faster in its attacks. I also didn't mention the Black Knight sword. I was pretty lucky in getting that. It has quite a few really strange attacks, but as you can see, I just wanted to look at the stats on it. Yeah, 20 strength and 18 dexterity to use this weapon effectively. And you can see it's like giving us some shit about using it. Now, even two-handed, you can see there's an X over the thing. We can't use it well, and if we hit something with it, we'll deal virtually no damage. So don't try to use weapons that you can't use. And another soul item. So over here, there's a lever to open the portcullis here, which will lead us up back into the area we were just at, into the Undead Parish, which this entire area is. Before we go into that area, though, there is another friend over here we could talk to. And by friend, I mean guy who wants to kill us. Up on this tower. Now, if you go around here, without making the dragon disappear, if you climb up here, you can kind of look down on the dragon from below. But if you shoot at him, he'll fly away. So here's another Black Knight. This one has the Black Knight Greatsword, which is much, much more dangerous. These guys are probably the most dangerous of all the Black Knights. So let's lead him back down, out of the tower, into the kind of a church area. Well, it is a church. No, I said kind of a church. Could fight him on the bridge, too, if you really wanted to. So that is the attack that makes him so dangerous. That one right there. Oh, good thing I dodged that. Okay. Just want to get a wide open area to fight him in. That attack can kind of catch you off guard because of the long arc of it. Now, luckily, the enemies cannot hit you when they do stuff like that, but you can hit enemies when you do that. Get around this corner and heal. Quick roll. Where you going, man? Ah. That would have been a good opportunity to try to get behind him. He did that. There we go. He's got about the same amount of health as the other one that we fought. Now these guys will turn around very quickly, so gotta be careful. There we go. Oh. He was still in his invincibility frames. I got hit again. Yeah. Oh man! And we got the Black Knight shield. Wow. I was thinking it would be nice if we got the sword, but we got the Black Knight shield, which requires 16 strength, which we're going to want higher strength anyway. But man, as you can see, the fire block is 95, and the stability is 62. That's ridiculous for a medium shield. And it also has a 65% lightning block. The only downside is the magic block, which is still better than the shield we currently have equipped. And, you know, most of the other ones. We can't use it right now, but I'll definitely be getting my stats up to use this. It's also kind of heavy at 6 weight. Now, let's see if we can roll our that's what I'm looking for here. Now, as you can see here, if you look at the right weapon 1, you can see that it increases our damage with our sword by 1, because we have a faith scaling weapon. Now let's see if we can keep our luck rolling. There's another mini boss right here that will drop one of the best weapons, or the best items you can get this early in the game. This kind of pig thing. What we want to do is we want to run straight into here. Oh. Oh, the sword guy. No. Now there's a few ways to fight that guy. You can backstab him. Not the spear guy. The spear guy is just being annoying. You can backstab the boar, which is not too hard. Ah, get an opportunity to do that now. Just shove your sword in his butt. Looks disgusting. You can also just shoot him with projectiles. It's pretty easy. There's also another thing you can do that I'm trying to demonstrate up here. No. Oops. How did I miss that? Activated another sword guy. You also just toss fire bombs on him from up here and stuff like that. He's armored from the front and sides. You can basically only really damage him from behind. But you can just shoot him with a bunch of arrows if you really want to. There's also a specific item up here that will allow you to kind of cheese him a little bit. The alluring skull will attract certain enemies. I believe this is basically referring to non-human enemies, the animal types. So let's go ahead and use one. What I want to do is want to throw it down there into the fire. And he'll walk over and he'll touch the fire and get damaged. Oh man, he dropped it. He dropped the item. And then I touched the fire and got damaged. The Fangboar helmet. So this is the Fangboar helmet. This has, as you can see, low magic defense, low fire defense, low lightning defense. But the physical defense on it, especially when fully upgraded, is one of the best physical blocking items in the game. It's very, very heavy though. Severed head of the fully armored Fangboar. Now you can get more of these because there's a couple more of them later. It's a surprisingly sound piece of protective gear, and this is very heavy armor. We're still not slowed down, but if we had, like, let me actually look at that. Look at our limits. So you can see our equip load is 21 out of 52. We're not quite to half of our weight limit. If we're at a quarter of our weight limit, we will move different, and if we're below 25%, we will move the fastest and roll the fastest. And if we were at above a certain amount, we will we'll roll slower, and it makes it harder to dodge stuff. If we had a spear, we could stab this guy through here, but we don't. So I think with that string of luck, I think that's a good place to end this off. We got the Black Knight sword, the Black Knight shield, and the Fangboar helm, which is pretty much the best I could hope for at this point. And hopefully we can keep this rolling in the next part. So I will see you next time on Let's Play Dark Souls. Oh, before I go. Faith.